Mount Spur is blowing its top. On Tuesday, the volcano sent up a cloud of ash more than 11 miles high, turning the summer sky dark.
And once the winds caught it, the ash started falling over metropolitan Anchorage, dumping 1/4 inch of fine silt over the city of 250,000 people. Local authorities are warning people to wear protective masks or stay inside. At least 3 heart attacks have been linked to the fallout.
1992, a volcano erupted in Alaska. It's called Mount Spur, S-P-U-R-R. It erupted just like 80 miles outside Anchorage, Alaska. It's the kind of thing you remember if you were there, or if you even saw news footage of it. That eruption of Mount Spur, it covered Anchorage, largest city in Alaska, with this choking gray volcanic silt. Anchorage Daily News reported at the time, quote, "Anchorage wheezes to a halt in clouds of ash. The city was engulfed in a darkness that could be felt and tasted. Planes were grounded, local shops were overwhelmed with people trying to buy air filters or masks. One local resident told the paper, 'This stuff burns my throat.'" That was the last time Mount Spur erupted just outside Anchorage. It was 1992. Mount Spur is obviously very much still there, and it is still active, and lately it's been really active. New earthquakes and new emissions of volcanic gas at Mount Spur in Alaska. This footage from March 7th, the reason we have this flyover footage is because somebody is keeping a very close eye on Mount Spur. The scientists of the Alaska Volcano Observatory, in conjunction with the U.S. Geological Survey, they are on the case, watching and monitoring Mount Spur. This week, Wednesday, the Alaska Volcano Observatory warned that another eruption is imminent, that another Mount Spur eruption is, quote, likely within weeks or months. Likely. Helps to be prepared, though, right? Helps to know ahead of time. Donald Trump is getting rid of the Alaska Volcano Observatory. Now. The Trump administration's so-called Department of Government Efficiency has listed the Volcano Observatory's lease for cancellation. Quote, as Mount Spur trembles toward a possible eruption, the Alaska Volcano Observatory's longtime home, Grace Hall at Alaska Pacific University, remains on a Department of Government Efficiency list of federal leases to be terminated. The lease is up for cancellation in August, and Donald Trump, in his infinite wisdom, is apparently set to cancel it. Because surely that is the right way to contend with potentially disastrous volcanic eruptions near the largest city in one of America's 50 states. Just stop looking. It'll be fine. Meanwhile, a broad swath of the United States is bracing for severe weather right now, with a high risk of tornadoes putting nearly 50 million Americans in potential danger tonight and tomorrow. The National Weather Service in Birmingham, Alabama is warning residents, I kid you not, to, quote, wear a helmet and to make sure your kids are wearing something with your contact information on it in case they get separated from you. Quote, this will be a very scary situation for many. We have a flooding threat, very large hail threat, severe damaging wind threat, and the potential for long track tornadoes. This is from the National Weather Service in Birmingham, Alabama. Quote, please don't panic, but be ready, be prepared. Again, these warnings to alert people and prepare them, these are coming from the National Weather Service, which is part of an agency where DOJ is reportedly planning another round of more than 1,000 firings. Austerity, efficiency, this is what it looks like in practice. For weeks now, we have seen protest after protest all across the country as Americans have pushed back against this strategy, pushed back against what Donald Trump and his top campaign donor have been doing to the United States and to the federal government. Demonstrations all over the country. Now the activist group Indivisible is planning for a big one. But they want to be a big central demonstration where everybody shows up in the same place. Saturday, April 5th, Indivisible is announcing what they're calling Hands Off, a nationwide mobilization to stop the most brazen power grab in modern history. Joining us now is Ezra Levin, co-executive director of Indivisible. Ezra, thank you for being with us tonight. I appreciate it.
Of course, Rachel. Great to be here.
It's been a couple of weeks since we checked in. Tell me how Indivisible has been operating over these past few weeks. I know the president and Republican members of Congress have started to talk about you as if you are some sort of like foreign terrorist threat or something. We know that you've got their attention. How have things been from Indivisible's perspective?
Look, we're going through what's known as a wave moment in organizing circles at Indivisible. We had more local Indivisible groups join. These are volunteers. Start local Indivisible groups in their community in November than any months in 2017. We beat the November month in December, beat the December month in January, beat the January month in February. It's mid-March. We've had over 100 local Indivisible groups join, and these are peaceful protesters shown up to make their voices heard in red states, purple states, blue states. So how's it going? Well, the opposition is taking note and criticizing it, so I think it's going pretty darn well.
What's the plan for April 5th, and how is that different from the other kinds of actions that you guys have been taking part in?
So for the last several weeks, we've been hearing from old and new Indivisible group leaders, hey, we're all getting together, we're doing these actions locally, but when do we actually really hit the streets? When do we all show up en masse? That's what this is. I want to be clear. This is not just Indivisible. We're partnering with the brilliant folks over at 5051, with labor, with lots of other folks. But this is an organic, energy-fed moment. Anybody who is watching this can sign up and register an event in their community to say, look, hands off our jobs, hands off our democracy, hands off our volcano observatories. My God. We need to show up because Doge and this administration is negatively impacting all of us in all of our communities. So yes, there's going to be a big presence in DC, but it's not just DC. I want to see this in rural areas, in suburban areas, in urban areas, in red states, purple states, blue states, and it's going to take all of us. So this is an opportunity for all of us to stand up together and demonstrate the power, the people power that is against Doge, against Musk, against Trump.
We're seeing all different, I mean, we've been trying to track it on this show, trying all different kinds of protests from all different kinds of people in all different kinds of places. Again, this call on April 5th for everybody to do something together all on that day. Ezra Levin, co-executive director of Indivisible, thanks for your time tonight. I know you're a very busy man.
Thanks, Rachel.
We'll be right back. Stay with us.